Hi guys, this is Lachette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I'm back again with a new video. This is my Hrcyed 2.0 update for the second quarter of Hrcyed itself, not of the year. I'm doing this live, but before I get into it more, let's play my intro. This is what happens when we do things live. A video file out was gonna work. No longer does, apparently. Here we go. Hold on a second, a freaking thing. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so here we are for Hrcyed 2.0. I'm way behind on posting my vlogs for that. I'm still posting vlogs for Hrcyed 1.0, so content for days. Anyway, um, this is me going through to show you what prompts I've hit and what I haven't, going through the spreadsheet, because otherwise I apparently won't update it. So let me share my screen and let's talk about it. Spreadsheet, a lot of us before. And let's see this. There we are. So here it is. The spreadsheet for Hrcyed round 2. This is the cover. And if you're unaware, Hrcyed stands for the hardest reading challenge you will ever do. This is a year-long reading challenge created by Stephanie Qwerty. And it is comprised of a board with 25 prompts. Each prompt is a challenge in and of itself. So we'll go through each, but one of the things you'll immediately notice, I think, is I have another square covered. So the challenge runs this round from July 7th, 2025. And it'll end in July 6th, 2026. That's her birthday. That's why that date, the July 7th. So, and word on the street is we're getting round 3 if you are interested. Um, so my update, when I say quarter 2, is up until January 6th of 2026. So I did the quarter 1 update, which was up to, I think, October 6th of 2025. So we have an additional 3 months in here. And I'm glad I did this because I was not feeling very confident about continuing Hrcyed when I did the quarter 1 update. And I'm feeling better about it now. I was really, because I filmed that quarter 1 update during quarter 3, after January or maybe during January, and I hadn't looked at this section yet, and I was really concerned about how little reading I did during the last 3 months of 2025, and how that probably really me for the whole thing. In particular, there were two prompts that I, made a point to focus on. Like I did a whole spinner wheel. I was like, I picked out my books, and I did nothing for them, or I read one out of all of them. So, but I'll get into those uh, when I have the chance. Okay. So what I have added on here is one, I had realized the spreadsheet had been updated since the start, and this is a little your percentages. Um, and I might update that a little bit. I don't love it, but it works for now. Uh, the main thing is, one, I know that with all 25 challenges, all of 25 squares, I have 185 books to read total. Now, the number is a little bit different for everybody because the purple prompts, the purple squares, are ones that you uh, are personalized to you. So I won't have the same as other people. And as of January 6, 2026, I've read 24.32% of the books I need to do, a total of 45 prompts read. Now, the next page is the tracker here, and this is where we list all the books and whatnot. I wasn't loving it. I use story graphs, but it is helpful for the readathon. So I've read a total of 40 books so far. That's January 6, 2026. And we have the stats page, which is pretty cool, especially these maps here. Well, actually, it says I've read a total of 38 books, so I'll need to look into that apparently. Total pages 6,755. And this is every book I've read, not just for Hrcyed. I don't have like books that don't fit for Hrcyed yet. Except the ones I've read since January 6th, since it's May now. But total hours read 174.5. I don't put in the days and all of that stuff because it's not necessary for Hrcyed. Average rating 3.89, and total points, which we'll get into, 283. I don't put in the acquisition year total out of this world. Books that are not set in the U.S. or the. It took me a second to remember that. That's what these two maps are. So, where in the world your book is set, and then if it's set in the U.S., which state, which is pretty cool. I've never seen that before. We've also the prompts and which books I've read the most from each, and my newest square, Readathon, is one of the top two, as well as the Even Bigger Rainbow. Well, yes. Maybe not. I might be changing that. I haven't settled on things for the Even Bigger Rainbow. Publisher, this is not something I've actually put in. I think those were things. I don't need to keep track. The biggest genre for me is contemporary. So I forgot to do my disclaimer. Warm out. My window is not open, but I am filming this later in the day than I normally film my videos. And I live across the street from high school, so school's getting out. High schoolers are loud. Tis what it is. Um, this is literary contemporary with 5 books. 13.9% is the most that I've read. And then next, oh, and a tie is epic high fantasy. 4 books, 11.1%, and paranormal romance. 4 books, 11.1%. The contemporary literary, not something I normally read, so I really have to think about that. The means of which I read them, paperback is the largest amount. The others pretty close. As far as series and where I am in them, I've started so many new ones and it's killing me. Almost half of the pie here at 47.4%. But standalones is the next big chunk, which is completely out of the norm for me. New or rereads. Uh, First reread here, and I haven't decided what I'm using it for. Oh, that's yes, but everything else is new to me. And we have the cover colors. Oops, excuse me, that's the authors. Cover colors here, mostly blue, white, purple, and black. The audience, I'm mostly reading adult, which makes sense as an adult. Publication year, I've read mostly 2022 and 2021, which is very interesting. Oh, and some 2025. Okay. That was probably those new releases because that won't go down. Last but not least, the authors. I've read the most from Tasha Spillett and Natasha Donovan. That's a series which you will see. Uh, but this will change for quarter 3, definitely. Now we're on to the points calculator. In round 2, you can get points which you can, once you earn above a certain threshold, you can use to basically ease up the challenge for yourself. But you have to list all the books. There are 5, I think. Yeah, 5 levels. Oh, my bad. 5 levels of points. So you get 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, or 5 points. And pretty good. I would be doing amazing if I would write and post reviews, which I used to do before I started Hrcyed. But I'm finding out that a prevailing theme, for me at least, is once I am told I have to do something, then I don't want to do it. Then it becomes like, no. Rebel brain is how I've heard it called, or toddler brain, right? And I have never, ever had an issue with writing a book review uh, either immediately or within days of finishing a book, and a detailed one most of the time. It's a little difficult with comic books or manga, uh, but otherwise, no problem. Hrcyed 1, halfway through, I just stopped writing reviews. But I would have so many more points because this is the 5 points. So I'm hoping to challenge myself to write the reviews. Maybe that's what I should switch. But anyway, I have a total of 283 points, which has earned me 5.66 rereads, 2.83 DNFs, 1 0.13 triple ups, and shorter prompt by one. I'm a little over halfway there. I have not used any of those, so but I have reread two books. Well, this one doesn't really count because it's for this time frame, but I will have reread it. Uh, I wasn't thinking about it. It has been like 3 years since I've reread a book, and I'm dying of thirst to reread some things. And these were two that I had. I wasn't thinking about, oh, will it fit any prompts? No, I was thinking, I want to reread. Please just let me reread. So these are one of any prompts that I need. So we shall see. Now we're going to talk about the individual prompts. Okay, I'm gonna move this up back to 90 because yes. A big thing is I've actually put the book covers in here. So if I talk about stuff from the previous update, now we have visuals. First up, by the hundreds, you have to read a book for every 100 or so pages, and I've got four of them done. The 700 Wind and Truth was the first one. Um, Actually, EXO was the very first book I read for Hrcyed, but I did it for a secret prompt, so I wasn't thinking about where it could fit outside of that. Um, but Evilise explains it all as well, and here we have Barbarian Alien. I'm not making plans with these. I'm just, what do I have? What have I read that can fit the prompts? Uh, the only two I was sort of worried about was the 100s, and now I've done that. And I wasn't worried about the 700. I just needed to be aware of what books I had and wanted to read that would fit. Next up is the 24-hour readathon, which I had finished in the first quarter. So that is the same, and the book covers are there. Then we have subgenre here. It's so small, but I've only read two. This is one of the ones that I did. This is one of the ones I did a whole spinner wheel on, and I picked romance because I was like, that's my comfort read. I'm gonna pick up romances anyway, and I barely picked up one. Like these second, I'm like, you have to do it. Barely done it, but I I've already made one change with the sci-fi romance, the barbarian alien. Um, I might be changing another one of these because I have uh, since January 6th read romances and not in any of these categories though. But we're good. I feel like I can finish this. Just read the books I want to already. Next up is the series Staircase, which I have not uh, started as of January 6th, but you'll see an update next time. Another I have not started is award season. I said it would be Spiffbo because I didn't get to Spiffbo last round, and I'm probably not going to get to it if I'm being perfectly honest, because this takes research to figure out the books. Um, and I'm not really wanting to budge on being specific with Spiffbo. But we have the TBR game challenge, which I did finish in the first quarter already. I haven't figured out where I would put the book images on this, but this is second where I finished the last 10 years. Excuse me. Um, please excuse the siren you hear. This is what we get when we're live. The last 10 years, you're supposed to read 10 books from the last 10 years, either 2015 to 2024, or 2016 to 2025, or 2017 to 2026. You decide what that 10-year thing is. I think I'm going with 2015 to 2024 because I did read a book that came out in 2015. Um, so I've got my 2015 book here, my 2016 book. I didn't realize you can put the years, but in my 2018 book, my idea is to try to do some series because I have several I want to catch up on. We'll see how it goes. All the adaptations, this is what I've stressed off over from the beginning, and as of January 6th, I got none. But watch this space for Hrcyed update for quarter 3. The disability challenge. This is where we see the second place that I use Evelise explains it all. So this was here before, but I've put in the book cover. I'll have some more shortly. Who's this? Who's this? I'm sorry. My mouse is like picking up the tabs and being a pain in the butt. So next up, we've got Heritage Months. There are 10 of these, I believe. No, 9. Uh, Shocking, but I only have one in here. This is a graphic novel, Surviving the City. See it again, that I used for the Indigenous Heritage book. Honestly, Black History and Women's History, I could put stuff in already, but I am waiting. Uh, Same for LGBTQ plus Pride, but I'm working on it. Oh, yeah, I went back. Sorry, my bad. All I did was press on it. All I did was press on it. Where'd you go? The translation challenge. This surprise. I finished 2 of these, both graphic novels, and I would like to shout out Ashley from Realm of Comics and Kidlit because these were both from the readathon that she and Bree from Lock Petition put together. 2 books I didn't realize were translation. I've got some others that I own that I'm currently working on, so I expect to finish that one. Then we've got the Around the World Challenge, which I am working on and kind of waiting to slot things in for, but I kind of had hoped I would have more, if I'm being honest. More options already. The Even Bigger Rainbow Challenge. I'll make it slightly smaller again so you can really see all the colors. I've actually already hit every color except every cover, the 7 plus colors on one cover. And I have various options. Again, trying to decide which is the thing. Though I think orange and gold are definitely already decided. Oh no, I don't have pink. Or maybe I do. Yeah, I do have pink. Never mind. So on the tracker page, there's an option when you fill in the books saying like what the book cover color is, and so I've just been writing that in. Um, and yeah, all of these down here in the potentials are all ones I've read already, and I just put in what the book cover is. It would fit. So yeah, this one has always been the one I've been concerned about the most, and we shall see. Uh the other situation, but I think I've got it covered. Next, make a quote. I made a quote that's longer than it needed to be, and was it 10 books? I've read none of them. I don't even think about that prompt, so we move on. Excuse me while I drink some water. Next up, we have the spooky creatures prompt. I have 4 of the 8. I was thinking about just letting it go, giving up with this. The other creature aspect uh, was explained more in detail since the start of the challenge, and I was like, I think that's harder for me than I thought it would be. The other 3, well, Merfolk and Zombie are not creatures that I care to read about. I know books that are out there. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't really find them interesting. Uh, Fae folk, it would depend. And there's no Fae main character books on my TBR, which is the other big thing for me, like having stuff on my TBR. But there's another a book I'm gonna pick up soon that I think will fit other creatures. And I was watching somebody else's Hrcyed video, and their description of a merfolk book made me a little bit more interested in it. I just don't find mermaids and zombies interesting. Good, bad, and different. Become the avatar. So I had chose, I think, word in the title. Yeah. And you're supposed to pick either books that have these words in the title, these words, or have them in images on the book cover. And I had filmed with this a while ago, and sorry for the siren. The There's a series I want to continue that would fit this perfectly, and I think it has both the images and the words on the cover. And I just haven't picked it up. I own it. I literally own it, but I haven't picked them up. Like there's no barriers except my brain telling me, no. Once you said you have to do it, we're not doing it. Please let me know if you also have that problem, because I have that problem clearly. The next one is the Readathon Challenge, which I did finish. This is the 3rd box I've completed. All of these books, well, 4 out of the 5 that I did for Black Halloween back in October. So that is the new bingo square that I completed. I don't know that oh yeah, I don't think I submitted it. So I need to do that. But it's complete. And I haven't figured out where I could double up with all the books yet. Animal Friends. These guys, I was very concerned about this one because it's kind of hard to know ahead of time whether an animal is going to be a prominent uh, character in a book. Like, they don't have to be the main character. It's not like, oh, I saw a cat in a window. Like, they have to be there for a significant amount of time or a significant part of the story. So I was just like, I don't know. But once again, shout out to Ashley and Bree because I got one thanks to Cat Gamer, the series. Uh, it's about a woman who adopts a cat, and so the cat is always around. It's all about the cat and her dealing with the cat. So shout out to them. All right, where are we? I don't know what's gonna happen with the other books. I did get some suggestions. I honestly am just hoping that I'll come across some other real world animals because we can't use uh, fantasy ones. Here we are, the new release challenge. I kind of gave up on this. This stressed me out in round one. It's stressing me out here, even though we got 60 days. Um, and obviously, at the end of the year, I wasn't reading, and then I didn't pick up after that. So you can get up to 60 days before the release date or 60 days after. It currently being May, I could tentatively, potentially read March and April books still. So I might come back to it, but it will not be complete unless I get a whole bunch more points. The next prompt is a challenge yourself prompt, and of course, I'm not doing great at it. So I said I wanted to finish 12 series in 2025 and 2026. I finished two that I started in 2025. None of the ones that I only have one book left and I have a list of that I'm just like, I just need to read the last book and I'll be done. I have like 12 of those. Still haven't picked any of them up because as soon as I made it a challenge I have to do, my brain said, no, we're not doing it. So, fingers crossed, wish me luck. I definitely want to focus on that in June in particular. The nonfiction challenge is next, and I've read two books for that one about herbalism. Oh, I have them backwards. Self care is about self help, and the surface theory is about herbalism. Or not. I might change what that is. But these are three other topics I thought would be most likely for me to read, but that can change. I'm not too concerned about it, but I do need to get on. And we have Q's, reviews, and Rex, which I've not even looked at, but I've seen other people's Hrcyed updates, and I think it'll be a little easier than I thought. Then I added a page for the secret prompts, and I need to go back and fill in the ones I've read. Uh, and that is it. Oh, I forgot I put this back here. So that is how my Hrcyed 2.0 is going. I, once again, do not believe I will be able to complete it. Like, to read 185 books, fill all of the prompts. Just time is against me at this point. But I think I can still do respectably. I would like to hit uh, each prompt. So I would like to do like an award book and make a quote book. Become the avatar and favorite Hrcyed one prompt. So I can at least say I did one of them, one of the books for each of those prompts. But yeah, what is the end of that, guys? What did you think? Right, this is realistic showing of how Hrcyed is going. At this point, there are people who are already done. Um, they've completed all their prompts, and I'm like, wow. There was discussion about using fan fiction, using kids' books like picture books or chapter books, and trying to complete the whole thing with that. That would be really cool. Or comic books or all manga. Manga is harder, I think, but not impossible. Um, I just, I have all these other things I added onto myself. Uh, I've added in my brain that are not important. It's like they're not official rules, and Stephanie's not coming to my house to be like, "You follow those official rules." So it's not a big deal. This is a hobby, and this is a fun way to uh, express it, to indulge in it. But yeah, guys, that's it for me today. Like this video. If you liked it, subscribe. If you're new, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is coming. Um, yeah, we're doing pretty good. I hope to update the spreadsheet again so that I can give you the Q3 update not too far in the distant future. And that would be from January 7th to April 7th, I believe. So wish me luck. Let me know if you're participating in Hrcyed and how you're doing. I'm sure I have this in here. If you have answers, help a girl out and cheer for me if you're not participating. Leave me a little book stack emoji or notebook stack emoji if you want to support but don't know what to comment. If you made it this far, links in the description to everything I mentioned. Corey's announcement video, the website, the Discord, all of the Hrcyed stuff. And you can follow me on Storygraph if you want to see what I'm reading as I'm reading it. Maybe even my reviews when I get myself to actually do them. Maybe I should with my challenge to writing reviews. Um, Links to my Etsy shop and a 10% off discount code down below. Also, a link to my Patreon where you can get free and uh, early access to videos that are ad free and other content. But that is it for me today, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna attempt to play my outro. This is me attempting to get this to work. Bye, guys.